Hello, my name is Alex and I'm a part of Team 23, otherwise known as Ovacoda. Our company also consists of team members Daniel, Tasnim, Mark, and Thomas.
Who is our client?
Our client that we worked with throughout the semester was Community Living Cambridge. Community Living Cambridge is a non-profit agency that offers services for people with developmental disabilities. Their services range from employment supports, residential services, respite, passport, steps, and social opportunity ties.
What is their challenge?
Community Living Cambridge wants to create a system for their clients to encourage them to take their medication while preserving their independence.
Our solution and how it addresses our client's problem.
Our solution to the client's problem has been refined and perfected through requirements gathering and multiple lab demos. We believe it is the most reliable and engaging solution to the problem. The use of instant messaging within the system satisfies the requirement of social interaction between clients. There is also the ability to link clients in order to send them congratulations, motivations, and to get updates on their medication intake. This ability is extended to staff, family, and friends. The clients are able to ensure staff that they have taken their medicine without having to go to the staff member in person. This will give them the sense of independence they require. To encourage the clients, the concept of streaks was brought in. If the client remains on schedule for a certain amount of time, they will receive points. These points can be kept private or shared with other clients.
How we developed our solution and how it evolved since the beginning of the semester.
The process of the project's development was our main priority and has seen multiple iterations. The project began as just a simple idea: develop an application that would act as an assistant for clients with fetal alcohol syndrome to take their medication under the supervision of Community Living Cambridge staff. We began by working with Community Living Cambridge to develop a list of requirements that described what the system is capable of doing. Later on, we formed a pod by partnering with 3 other teams. Collectively, we merged and revised each team's requirements to generate a new list of requirements. Once it was clear what actions the application would and would not perform, we began designing initial user interface markups using the paper prototyping approach. After conducting a paper prototyping session with various stakeholders of the project, we had received some great feedback on its design and workflow, which included both positive and negative aspects. The main takeaway points from the prototyping sessions were our lack of compliance to AODA, inconsistent wording, and poor menu options. These points were addressed by grading our existing prototype using an AODA checklist and making appropriate changes, revising all of our screens and assuring consistent wording was used for performing the same action, and removing non-critical functionality from top-level menus. This feedback was well documented and was used as a reference to build our more detailed wireframe prototype. The wireframe was built to get a more realistic perspective on what the application would look like. As a front-end team, we are more concerned with the aesthetics rather than the functionality of this prototype. The logo and color scheme was more or less finalized and required coordination with our super team to ensure that they incorporated similar design elements. After presenting this wireframe to the project's stakeholders, the main concern was AODA compliance, which we will touch on later in this presentation. The final prototype was developed with all the various feedback we had received from the 2 prototyping sessions in mind. The web application is built primarily in Python using the Flask framework. The Flask application handles the majority of the application business logic and the serving of the web pages to the client. By using the Flask framework for delivering content to the client, the team was able to focus more upon the logic of the implementation and less upon the details of serving web content to browsers. The client is written using HTML5, JavaScript, and CSS. Some JavaScript libraries were used on the client side, including jQuery, Bootstrap, and data tables. These are common libraries used in many web applications to simplify the development of common tasks.
How our solution works with the other group in our super team.
Our solution provided the view, while the back-end team in our super team provided the model and controller in the MVC architecture-styled application. The user interacts with our view, which then sends data to the controller to manipulate the model, which then updates the view.
How we addressed AODA standards.
The first step that we took to address AODA concerns was to research the list of AODA compliance guidelines so that we could see if our current work met the required standards. Some examples of AODA standards that we have implemented into our website include color contrast between foreground and background, navigation of website using keyboard peripheral, and text scalability goes up to 200% without loss of content or functionality.